and welcome to Medical Dialogues, your daily dose of health and medical news. I am Dr. Nandita Mohan and let's look into today's reports. Statin adherence reduces the risk of ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke. Statins are widely used cholesterol-lowering drugs and reduce the incidence of myocardial infarctions and even stroke. Evidence from retrospective studies suggests that in addition to risk reduction, statin pre-treatment may improve the stroke outcome and even the survival at the first month. Due to significant association that exists between statin adherence and ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke risk, hence it is always necessary to stick to statin therapy, according to a recent study that is published in the Nutrition, Metabolism and Cardiovascular Disease Journal. The researchers concluded that they detected a significant association between the two parameters, that is statin adherence and ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke risk. Therefore, hyperlipidemia patients should adhere to statin treatment. Such interventions are hence required to reduce the stroke risk. Introducing diverse food within the first year of infancy tied to reduce risk of allergies in later life. Proper infant nutrition is always fundamental to a child's continued health from birth through adulthood. Correct feeding in the first 3 years of life is particularly important due to its role in lowering morbidity and mortality, reducing the risk of developing chronic diseases throughout their lifespan, and promoting regular mental as well as physical development. A study in China published in the Pediatric Allergy and Immunology Journal reported more diversified diet during the first year of life was connected with a lower risk of allergy illnesses at the first to second years of age. Introducing a greater variety of foods to babies between the ages of 6 and 12 months may be a useful strategy for improving allergy results later in the life. In conclusion, overall children with lower dietary diversity in any phase had a higher risk of subsequent allergic disorders, including allergic diseases of the respiratory tract and allergic diseases of the skin, than infants with higher food diversity in both types. Oral tocacetinib effective for treating alopecia areata in children. Alopecia areata is an autoimmune disorder which is characterized by loss of hair, often in well-demarcated areas. While its pathogenesis is not well understood, it is known that the CD8 T-cell mediated destruction of the hair follicle occurs in such cases. Several therapies have been utilized with variable results, but there is no definitive therapy for alopecia areata. A recent study in the journal Pediatric Dermatology showed oral tocacetinib to be clinically effective and well tolerated in the majority of pediatric patients suffering from such a condition. The researchers found that 72.7% of the patients experienced hair regrowth with oral tocacetinib, while 27.3% of the patients experienced minimal to no hair regrowth. There was no serious adverse events recorded in the study population during the observed treatment period. Commonly used anti-seizure medication tied to lower vitamin D levels. A seizure is often characterized as a sudden, uncontrolled electrical disturbance on the brain. A common property of suppressing the seizures, anti-seizure medications have many different pharmacological profiles that are relevant when selecting and prescribing these agents in patients with epilepsy and other comorbidities or other conditions. Treatment with the anti-seizure medication carbamazepine is related to a reduction in vitamin D levels according to a recent study. The findings of the study that has been published in the journal Epilepsy Research support the use of alternative anti-seizure medications as the first-line agents. Also, the researchers strongly stress considering vitamin D supplementation for patients who are prescribed carbamazepine. Children with type 2 diabetes have a higher risk of developing retinopathy than those with type 1 diabetes. Diabetes is a very common chronic disease of childhood characterized by chronic hyperglycemia with end organ damage that often results in the microvascular triad of nephropathy, neuropathy and retinopathy. The ocular sequence of type 1 diabetes and the adult onset type 2 diabetes have very well described. Very little is known concerning the progression of diabetic retinopathy among children with type 2 diabetes despite its increasing prevalence in the recent years. Children with type 2 diabetes have a higher risk of developing retinopathy than those with type 1 diabetes according to a new study published in the JAMA Ophthalmology Journal. In this population-based cohort of children diagnosed with diabetes during a 50-year period, patients with type 2 diabetes developed vision-threatening retinopathy after a shorter diabetes duration and at a higher rate than children with type 1 diabetes. These findings suggest that to prevent serious ocular complications, children with type 2 diabetes may require ophthalmoscopic evaluations at least as frequently as more frequently than children with type 1 diabetes. That's all for today. Stay safe.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.